Hello. It's Wednesday, March 15th, 2023. It's a SIG Node CI subgroup meeting. Welcome, everybody. Today, I wanted to start with uh, announcement that code freeze is already complete. It was yesterday, 5 p.m. Pacific time, and code freeze is 1 week later. So we are currently at this milestone, and we have 1 week till test freeze. By test freeze, PRs that fixing things or some exceptions are allowed. So those may be merged.
I didn't know about this Kubernetes.dev thing before.
Okay, yeah, it's similar to Kubernetes.io, but for developers, specifically for contributors. Yeah, so if you have any, like, I think what we need to focus this week is to make sure that all the tests are green and all the tabs are green. Something that we will discuss. Okay, and I also added a couple agenda items, just small announcements and just FYI kind of things. First is we discovered very late in a release cycle that some tests, like some scenarios were failing with the new features. Specifically, when you enable in-place vertical pod scaling and one of the storage feature gates, standalone agent will start failing. Typically, I mean, it's one of them were beta feature, so it's critical. Another one in place update is alpha feature. So theoretically, you can just disable this feature, but our typical threshold for this kind of functionality is that all GA features are supposed to be working. So all GA features are supposed to be working even if alpha features are enabled. That's why we are running not conformance on alpha with all alpha feature gates enabled. The problem is that we have a set of functionality standalone kubelet standalone mode. When kubelet runs without API server, so basically it's only capable to run static pods. And in this mode, you don't have kube client object, it's nil. And whenever you try to access it, and there are many reasons you want to access it, it will panic. So we caught two panics, and we have no way to validate it except manually run kubelet in standalone mode. It's not too hard. I mean, you just like have a binary and you run it, but the same way, you don't want to do it on every PR. So we created this standalone mode tests. They already merged, but they are failing right now because of some problems. So the first PR fixing them to make them green, and second PR adding test case that will catch regression if in-place vertical pod scaling will some of that in-place vertical pod scaling caused. So those two are pre-submits right now, and I think we need to at some point make periodics out of them as well. So if you're interested to test this and like add more scenarios for standalone mode, please contribute there. Any questions? Yeah. And historically, we never tested it. I think I was told, I don't know the history, like whole history, but I was told that standalone mode was always on a back burner, like testing that. And mostly it wasn't tested because some of the end-to-end executions are running master components with a Kubernetes standalone in standalone mode, meaning that we tested at least somehow, like we have some basic tests. The problem is we don't enable alpha feature, for instance, when we run it. So yeah, if you're interested. Another thing I want to mention that we started putting more and more stress-like tests into our end-to-end framework. So recently, Francesco, I don't know, Francesco, on the call.
I am.
Yeah. So I'm really glad to see this test that testing the what is it? I think it's a new test that you added, right? So it tests the limits.
Yes, I added something like that, but this is not the one I added.
Okay, so I misread it. Okay.
No problem, no problem.
With
Mine, I was looking at mine. Mine seems all green so far.
okay.
It's a bit below, but still, we can totally discuss this one. I mean,
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. I just misread it. So
no
yeah.
problem.
Yeah, but first I want to let's make it two topics. Like I wanted to highlight that we added more and more tests that testing limits of various sorts. Testing limits. Specifically, Francesco created tests that will run many queries to what is it pod resources API and validate that if you run too many, then it will be throttled, and if you run just enough, it wouldn't be throttled. This kind of test. And I think we need more of those, more of edge cases, and I hope that our test framework will survive and handles it very well. And yeah, I looked at this flake today, and I saw limit and 10 and resources. I like, okay, it's pod resources probably, but yeah, not the same test. So some test is flaking right now.
And just one question, which is probably silly, but still, looking at the test grid, I see that the test grid is telling us that the test is failing because it reached the CPU limits. Exactly. So I wonder if this is an artifact of the test, of the machine, of the configuration. I mean, the machine we have for running the tests has some limits, of course, or it is some like a red herring. I'm really wondering.
That may be it. The only problem with that assumption is that it's serial tests, and serial means that they will run one by one, and theoretically nothing changed, right? So theoretically they need to keep working.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, we can look into that. I'm curious.
I know that there were issues even with serial tests when cleanup of previous tests took too long, but I think we still run them serially. We won't run it one by one, but there may be some leftovers that we forgot to clean up or something like that. Evictions are very sensitive in this sense.
Yep, I agree.
Okay. Yeah, I'm glad you. Yeah, I will put a link here. I'm glad your tests are running fine now. And flake, yeah, I don't know if you have a bug for this flake yet. I thought I just mentioned here, but I probably need to create one. I think it was much greener before. Let me change the size. Super compact. No, I think maybe last week it was greener. Anyway. Okay, that's all of my agenda items today. Anybody wants to say something? Oh yeah, and Brian, again, congratulations with your nomination.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it. I have a question which maybe we don't need to put in this meeting, but it's relevant to what you said and it'd be educational for me and maybe others. How do you, when Kubel's running in stand-only mode, how do you interact with it? What tooling do you use? I can't imagine you're curling that API, and there's, the kubelet API, it's kind of hostile, and there's not a good CLI tool that talks to the kubelet API.
You basically just, I mean, in production case scenarios, you basically just put pods on in a static pod folder,
right.
and like you just expect them to run.
Right. Aside from static, there is a kubelet cuddle tool, but it's like unsupported and amusing, but not really awesome. So I was curious about that. For static interaction, I understand it then. All right.
Yeah. In my, go ahead.
I guess I was wondering, like, what's the use case there? Just to reuse the pod lifecycle to ensure this pod stays running?
Yeah, it's similar to Podman. If you use Podman before, and Docker, I think Podman using kubelet underneath. So Podman has a small kubelet, and I don't know if it's standalone mode or they emulate API server somehow, but it's basically doing the same thing.
Okay.
Todd, what was your
They
your
actually
idea there?
totally emulate. Oh, sorry. I was just say
Oh,
Podman
your
actually
idea.
emulates the Kube API server. So
Uh-huh.
they just like copy they import the library of the like pod spec, and then they just interpret that as a Podman pod.
You can use kubectl with Podman.
No, because they don't actually emulate the Kube API. They just like you can pass it a pod spec like a YAML file, and then they interpret the YAML file as a pod.
Okay.
Which
So
is like nerd
maybe it's
CTL
another one more.
probably. Todd, I'm not sure. I talked over you. Did you have a cool way to interact with kubelet in standalone mode that I didn't hear about?
Oh no, I was just wondering about the use case for standalone kubelet.
All right. I guess the best proposal directly for this then would be that kubelet CTL tool, which is made by some hackers for doing hacking stuff, but it works. I use it sometimes. All right, thanks.
Yeah, in the test that I created, I just created a static pod and then query /pods API, and it gives me some JSON with status. So I mean, it's very similar to what API server will return. Okay, let's move on. I want to triage now. I didn't do any pre-triage, but I think this is not relevant. This is focused in place pod size test. Interesting. It's flaky tests. Work in progress. Work in progress. I think it's SIG API machinery, and it's a feature. Windows again. I really like what Windows is doing. They cleaned up many test grids. Mike. Another Windows one. Okay. It was created last week. Vinay saying that it's flaky. Oh, I think it was fixed. I think that PR was. Okay, I'm not sure about. Let's see whether it's really flaky or. There's no link on test grid. No. Okay, this one looks the same. All green now. So it's red for a while and green. Red for a while and then green.
Why are there so many blanks in there? And, you know, empty columns.
Yeah, it's failing to start, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's mostly green now. Okay, let me ask on a ticket. This one, Container D 1.7 was released, and Derek, he's one of the maintainers of Container D, created this pull request. I still think it has a lot of questions. From Mike, yeah, Mike now has comments. Okay, let's move it to needs reviewer, and I already assigned, so I will take a look. Tests. He's targeting 127. Oh, it's for in-place upgrade.
I don't know that Windows world. I can't help on that one.
Yeah, it just skips certain tests. Like if you look at the PR, it only skips test execution when in place is enabled.
Oh, okay. So it's VNA related. Okay.
I mean,
Yeah, I thought it was
VNA
awkward.
related.
Skip them
Huh?
only on Windows if the feature was enabled.
Yeah, so I'm generally okay with that. I just want to make sure that VNA is okay also. Yeah, in place vertical box scaling. Yeah, this one doesn't say it's in place, but they still skip it. So okay, let's VNA review it and then we see what's going on. Mike, are you on the call? Nope. So this is continuation of this attempt to test previous versions. I think I commented on yesterday, maybe. Oh, Brian also commented. Okay, I think this is ready to be merged. I will take a look. Going to October. File script and leaks and file removal cleanup. Yeah, this kind of PRs are typically big and messy and requires constant rebasing. Oh, there's a new util feature for that. I didn't know.
Wow,
How-
that looks like this.
Yeah, how this util feature is better than OS remove.
But it's mostly focused on test cases, right? Yeah. Okay. I can help review that kind of thing too. It looks like it doesn't require tons of brain power. Just look at it.
Yeah, we also need to understand whether it's needed, because before it wouldn't fail on removal. If removal fails, now it may fail because they pass a T here, meaning that they probably want to fail if they cannot remove it. Anyway, if you want, I can assign it to you.
Yeah, I think I'm ready to take a new one, especially one that requires very little brain power.
Thank you. Testing not into it. Yeah, I've been talking about it. I think we need to put it in the milestone. I will put it as a neat reviewer because it validates a specific scenario when which failed in place vertical pod scaling. And this is the same thing. Last one, skip flaky test on Windows. Again, they already set a milestone. Apply, execute. I really like when there is a link to issue when it should be removed, but here you don't see any issues. Okay, is it forever?
Well, yeah,
File.
it's forever because it's the Windows orphaned child.
Is anybody interested to check on flakes, on skips?
I am.
Thank you.
I have some business to do with SIG Windows up until the pod resources thing goes on. So happy to help. Thanks.
Thank you. And test failing, unfortunately. Okay. So we're done with this board. I'll clean up all the rest. It's not relevant. Okay. I think we can go to bug triage to check what's going on with bugs. If there are any tests related to business, please speak up now. Otherwise, we'll go to bugs. Okay, then. 27. It's not getting easier. Okay, then. Oh, I don't know why this board is so slow. Okay. Portfolio policy, edge case. Okay, so this is specific to this feature cap. I think this cap is in alpha, but it's being promoted to beta, and I think there is exception request right now. Okay. Oh, I removed SIG Node. Okay. Why it's still here? Droid. Todd, is it somebody working with you?
Mohammed is mainly doing this. I thought this was actually resolved now. It was just like you have to specify some extra container D features. Yeah, I don't know if there's anything left to do here. Like this suite's passing for him now on the Ubuntu standard armies.
Do you want me to close it?
Um,
I can give it to you.
yeah, I'll ask Mohammed like if he's ready to just close it because I don't think there's anything left to do.
Okay, I also removed this one. What eviction? Have a look at it. Oh, I didn't. Yeah, interesting. I didn't move it to React. Okay. Port of successful job shows as killed.
I looked at this for a minute. And I wasn't sure. Like, I didn't think there was enough information. Like, maybe there is a successful pod that worked. Like, I wasn't entirely sure. Is it a bug or not, or is it just he happens to see some like killed pods, and there's also a successful one somewhere.
Yeah, it seems it's more likely a misunderstanding of data than the fact.
Yeah, if you see when he's like repping for jobs, he's only looking at the unkilled ones. So there may be another one that wasn't. Is my guess.
Hey, Sergey, could you CC me as well?
Okay. You know what? What I will do, I will clean this tab. I think it may help speed up the board. Archive, archives. I don't know whether I clicked on the button or not. It's so slow. Hopefully it will be faster now. Okay, this is interesting. So you have post start hook, and then you delete the pod, then it will keep running forever. Okay, so I think who is working on that? Is this assigned? Yeah, it's assigned to Clayton. Yeah, this kind of test would be nice to write as this kind of bug is nice to write as a test case. I think this new container lifecycle framework will be suitable for this one as well. You can test it, it's finishing. Containers get scheduled on reserved CPUs. Two pods. Does it request full integer CPUs? .123 is out of support. I'm not sure if it changed too much in this logic. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's expected behavior. Because like, where else do you schedule those? You don't want to schedule them on dedicated.
It takes more brain power just to figure out the situation in this ticket.
Oh, Francesco CC'd himself. This guy is still on the call?
Yes, I am. I want to look at that. I didn't time to yet. So this is why I'm CC myself.
Okay.
You can even assign me to that if no one else wants, but I still need to find time. At glance, looks legit, but this is why I'm still not triage accepting, because at glance looks legit. I think it's legit, but didn't have time to look into that. No, well, okay, your call. I'm just saying that I need some time.
I'm going to ask specifically like for pod definitions and also ask to reproduce on 124 plus. I think that's a reasonable ask.
Yeah, it is, but I'm pretty confident it's real thing. So we've seen something similar ourselves in Red Hat. So, but you know, it's my duty to check before I accept the triage.
So, okay, never mind. Let's move on. To do, remove deprecated plugin exists with correct timestamp. Okay, to do. Okay, context deadline exceeded. I think we saw this issue before. Okay. Okay. Running complete end-to-end test on AWS. Another one of those. And I don't think it's a bug.
Yeah, I don't think it's a bug. I asked Mohammed about the other issue, and he said it's more of a feature request. He wants to start running the SIG Node CI tests on AWS to help use up those credits. So there's been, I guess this is the overarching issue, which there's been some progress, but it's just going to take a while.
Yeah, it never a fast project. It looks straightforward, but then you hit so many roadblocks. Especially now in code freeze, you cannot commit any code, so you stuck. But for deleted must still be accounted for admission. I think that's what we looked at. It's accepted. And this is jobs with high completion count, kills complete performance. What version? I think we cleaned up it a little bit at some point. 123. So pods are assigned to a specific node somehow. Completion pods.
Yeah, I thought there was some GC process for completed job pods.
Yeah, but the claim here is that before they even schedule, they already assigned to this node, so they need to index through them over and over again. Marking new pods.
What is that index he's talking about? I had not heard about this indexing.
I think by indexing, he just means that kubelet queries like which pods to run, and for some reason it get a response of 6,000 instead of like a reasonable amount.
No, there's a special job feature for indexed jobs related to, so that you can use a job and split it up in parallel so that multiple nodes can work on portions of a data set so they get that index from the job. I've never used it. It's a weird feature. Weird for me anyway. It's outside of my realm. I think that's it.
Okay, so Aldo saying that there's still room for improvement in kubelet. Pods would not be removed immediately.
Looks like index jobs came in 124, so fairly new as well. And probably not super used.
When they say high completion counts, does it mean their containers are running to completion?
I think so.
Then this could be a good test case for evented plug.
That's true. That's very good.
Yeah, you can CC me on this.
go ahead, I can accept it, but I don't think priority is too high on that. Device manager can incorrectly recover devices on node restart.
This was reopened because Swati, which is not in the call today, had the fix which was reverted. So this is not news. New.
Okay. I saw you said that it's almost completed. Is it almost completed? And do we want it for 127?
The sooner the better, yeah. But I'm not sure it's warrants to be merged in this week. But there is still some work a bit of work to be done here.
Okay.
I will probably update it, and then I will find another reviewer. Yeah.
This is only test. Oh, it also fixes code. Okay.
Yeah, that part, yeah.
I see. Okay. Quickly recover device and restart. Okay.
But we will totally. I mean, if doesn't make it for this week, we will totally make it for 127 Z stream and propose even backports later. But anyway, I will keep working on that.
Yeah, if you feel we need to have it this week, then you need to advocate for that, and we can try to squeeze it in.
Yeah, that's understood. That's understood. I will sync with Swati and we'll figure out how to move forward. Thanks.
Thank you. Initialize last transition time different from pod scheduled last transition time. Without it. What is your last transition time? Okay, needs initialize condition, schedule condition. Oh, I don't
Seems
know
like
why.
seems like expected behavior, like the pod schedules and then gets initialized some period of time later.
Who is on? Oh, wait.
I guess you assume it would be initialized as soon as it was scheduled, but that's not. There's always going to be some delay there.
Maybe we can take a few more. Still incorrect, not concept page. Okay, let's keep it as a bug. I mean, it's a documentation bug, but it's a bug. Yeah, well, it feels like a bug. Triage accepted. Anybody wants to contribute in docs? It feels like something needs to be removed because it was duplicated.
Yeah, I can knock this one out. Shouldn't take too long.
Dynamic resource allocation. Kubot restart after not prepare resource before checkpoint. Yeah, all the kubelet restarts are quite tricky. Okay, I'm thinking of solution, so it's clearly a bug. It's already accepted. Transition running deleted pods to terminal phase. I think it's for the cap. I'm not sure why it's a bug. Okay, so it's part of a cap, but it's actually bad behavior. Okay. Yeah, we have 5 minutes left. Is there any other topics for today? If not, I would suggest we finish this meeting. We wouldn't be able to go through all the bugs. So if you want to do it offline, please do. If you want to look at other bugs also, it's always appreciated. Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Bye.